Hello and welcome to the Target UPSC Prelims 2024 MCQ series. This is the 8th episode of Economy. So let's begin. The first question is, consider the following statements regarding Mera Gaon Mera Gaurav. First, it aims to promote the direct interface of scientists with the farmers. So scientists with the farmers to hasten the lab to land process. Second, it is launched by the Ministry of Rural Development. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? One only, two only, both one and two, neither one nor two. Correct answer is option A, that is one only. So first is correct, second is incorrect. It means the ministry is incorrect. So let's see. Mera Gaon Mera Gaurav scheme is an initiative of the ICAR, that is Indian Council of Agricultural Research, DARE, that is Department of Agricultural Research and Education, and the ministry is Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Government of India. Therefore, second statement is incorrect. So, second is incorrect. It is not Ministry of Rural Development. It is Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. It was launched in 2015 with the objective of identifying villages in the vicinity of the agricultural institutions for providing advisories and consultations to farmers for increasing farm productivity and production. So, it is basically for increasing the productivity and production of farm. It aims to promote the direct interface of scientists with the farmers to hasten the lab to land process. Under this scheme, scientists select villages as per their convenience and remain in touch with the selected villages and provide information to the farmers on technical and other related aspects in a time frame through personal visits on the telephone. Therefore, first is correct. The correct answer is option A. Next, second, India is a destination for global outsourcing. Which of the following is or are the more appropriate region for making the multinational corporations choose India for outsourcing their services? Lower wage rate, higher rate of unemployment, availability of skilled human power, cordial relationship with government. Select the correct answer using the code below. 1 only, 1 and 3 only, 2 and 4 only, 3 and 4 only. Correct answer is option B, that is 1 and 3. So it means 2 and 4 is wrong. Lower wage rate and availability of skilled human power is correct. So outsourcing is the business practice of hiring a party outside a company to perform services or create goods that were traditionally performed in-house by the company's own employees and staff. It means giving the same work which their employees and staff were doing to someone else. Outsourcing is a practice usually undertaken by companies as a cost cutting measure. India's investment friendly policies, forward thinking reforms, higher disposable incomes, and rising middle class have made it an attractive outsourcing destination for foreign investors. The lower wage rates and availability of skilled manpower in India have made it a destination for global outsourcing in the post reform period. The following regions also contribute to the making the multinational corporations choose India for outsourcing. The first is high quality services. Indians are very good in giving high quality services, unique time zone, stable government. And if we look at the government, then as of now, India has a stable economy and a government. And then IT industry streamlines regulatory process and quick approvals at the implementation of IT project. Therefore, 4 is not correct. Then low cost services. So let's see. Correct answer is option B. Lower wage rate, that is absolutely correct. Availability of skilled human power. Higher rate of unemployment. This is wrong. For this, MNCs will not come to India. Cordial relationship with government. This is also wrong because it takes time to get the approval of projects. Next, consider the following statements. First, New Industrial Policy 1991 has contributed in the growth of service sector. In New Industrial Policy, technology transfer agreement was allowed under automatic route. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, neither 1 nor 2. Correct answer is option C, that is both 1 and 2. Let's see. The liberalized industrial policy was announced by the government in the year 1991 in between the severe economic instability which the country was facing. The objective of the policy was to raise efficiency and accelerate economic growth. The objective of the new industrial policy 1991 was to provide larger role to market forces. So focus areas of the policy is first, liberalization, that is the government control will be reduced. Second, privatization, that is transfer of control of ownership of economic resources from public sector to private sector. Third is globalization, that is integration of national economy with the global economy. Then provisions under the new industrial policy were: government allowed domestic firms to import better technology in order to improve efficiency. FDI was increased. Technology transfer agreement was allowed under the automatic route. Monopolies and Restrictive Trade Practices Act, that is MRTP Act, was relaxed in the year 1991, and it was repealed and replaced by the Competition Act of 2002. Industrial licensing was abolished. Public sector's role was diluted. Then what is the impact of new industrial policy? So the growth of GDP increased from 5.6 to 6.4. Foreign investment increased in the name of FDI and FPI. Foreign exchange reserves increased, and growth of service sector is going up and is still going up. Therefore, the correct answer is option C, that is both the statements are correct. Next. With respect to Swadesh Darshan scheme, consider the following statements. First, it is a central sector scheme launched by the Ministry of Tourism. Second, 10 thematic circuits have been identified under the Swadesh Darshan for development. Third, promotion of tourism as a catalyst for economic growth and creation of jobs is one of the objectives of the scheme. Fourth, the Ministry of Tourism provides central financial assistance to state governments and union territory administrations for the infrastructure development of circuits. Which of the following statements is or are correct? 1 only, 1, 2 and 3 only, 2 and 3 only, 1, 3 and 4 only. Correct answer is option D. That is 1, 3 and 4 only. So first, third and fourth are correct. Second is incorrect. Let's see. Swadesh Darshan scheme is a central sector scheme launched by the Ministry of Tourism. This is correct. Government of India for the integrated development of theme-based tourist circuits. The aim is to promote, develop and harness the potential of tourism in India. Then these tourist circuits will be developed on the principle of high tourist value, competitiveness and sustainability in an integrated manner. 15 thematic circuits have been identified under the Swadesh Darshan for development. So it is not 10, it is 15. Under the Swadesh Darshan scheme, the Ministry of Tourism provides central financial assistance to state governments and union territory administrations for the infrastructural development of circuits. Therefore, the correct answer is option D. Second is correct. Instead of 10, it is 15. Next. The term West Texas Intermediate, sometimes found in news, refers to a grade of crude oil, bullion, rare earth metals or uranium. Correct answer is option A, that is crude oil. West Texas Intermediate, it is also known as the Texas Light Sweet, is a grade of crude oil used as a benchmark in oil pricing. WTI is described as a light crude oil because of its relatively low density and because of its low sulfur content. So the density and sulfur content both are low. It is sourced from US oil fields primarily in Texas, Louisiana and North Dakota. Therefore, the correct answer is crude oil. Next, the railway network in India is divided into 8 zones, 10 zones, 17 zones or 20 zones. Correct answer is option C, that is 17 zones. For administrative purposes, Indian Railways is divided into 17 zones. Each division is headed by Divisional Railway Manager, that is DRM. A DRM is assisted by 1 or 2 ADRM, that is the Additional Divisional Railway Managers in the working of the division. So there is DRM and then they have 2 ADRM. Divisional officers heading all departments via stores, engineering, mechanical, electrical, signal, telecommunication, accounts, personnel, operations, commercial, safety, medical, security branches, and report to the divisional railway manager. Therefore, the correct answer is option C, that is 17 zones. Next. Which one among the following union territories of India shares the shortest length of national highways? Chandigarh, Delhi, Daman and Diu, Dadra and Nagar Haveli. Correct answer is option A, that is Chandigarh. So if we will look at the length of national highways, then Chandigarh it is 15, Daman and Diu 22, Dadar and Nagar Haveli 31 and Delhi 79. So highest is Delhi and among these lowest is Chandigarh. Therefore the correct answer is option A, Chandigarh. Next. Which two of the following extreme locations are connected by the east-west corridor in India? So east-west corridor, if we talk about the directions, then it is north, south, west, east. So we are talking about this. You can say like this. So this direction. Silchar and Porbandar, Mumbai and Nagpur, Mumbai and Kolkata, Nagpur and Siliguri. Correct answer is option A, that is Silchar and Porbandar. Silchar is in Assam and Porbandar is in Gujarat. Porbandar we all know, Mahatma Gandhi. These are extreme locations connected by east-west corridor in India, which is around 3,300 kilometers. This project aims to improve the connectivity with northeastern region. So Silchar, Assam and Porbandar, Gujarat. Correct answer is option A. Next. Which of the following statements are correct? First, Kolkata port is the only riverine major port of India. Second, the port of Cochin is located on the Wellington Island. Third, Maharashtra has 3 major ports. Fourth, Mudra port is India's major port in private sector. Select the correct answer using the code given below. 1 and 2 only, 3 and 4 only, 2, 3 and 4 or 1, 2 and 4. Correct answer is option D, that is 1, 2 and 4. 1, 2 and 4. It means Maharashtra has 3 major port is wrong. Otherwise all 3 are correct. That is Kolkata port is only riverine major port. Let's see. Kolkata port is the only riverine major and also the oldest operating port in India. It facilitates trade and commerce of vast hinterland comprising the entire eastern India including Bihar and eastern Uttar Pradesh and the 2 landlocked Himalayan kingdoms of Nepal and Bhutan. The port of Cochin is a natural sea port situated on Wellington Island on the sea coast of Kerala. Then Maharashtra has 2 major ports, that is Mumbai port situated in the area of Salsette Islands and Nhava Sheva or Jawaharlal Nehru Port Trust, that is near Panvel. Then Mudra port, the largest private port in India. So Mudra port is the largest private port in India, is located on the north shore of the Gulf of Kutch near Mudra, that is Gujarat. It is a major hub for containers and bulk cargo. It is run by the Adani Ports and SEZ Limited. Therefore, Mudra port, largest private port in India. Port of Cochin, Wellington Island, Kolkata port, only riverine major port. And then if we talk about Maharashtra, it has 2 major ports, not 3. Therefore, the correct answer is option D, that is 1, 2 and 4. Third is wrong because Maharashtra has 2 major ports. Next, National Waterway 1 connects Allahabad to Haldia, Sadia to Dhubri, Kollam to Kottapuram or Kakinada to Puducherry. Correct answer is option A, that is Allahabad to Haldia. So Allahabad can be written as Prayagraj. So National Waterway 1 connects Allahabad with Haldia on Ganga Bhagirathi Hooghly stretch under National Waterway Act 1982 and National Waterway Allahabad Haldia stretch of the Ganga Bhagirathi Hooghly river. It became operative in the year 1986 after the formation of the Inland Waterway Authority of India. Inland Waterway Authority of India. The Ganga Bhagirathi Hooghly stretch is 1620 kilometers long. Therefore, the correct answer is option A. Next question. And like always, this is the practice question. So what happens? You people will give me the answer in the comment section. Consider the following statements with reference to National Investment and Infrastructure Fund, that is NIIF. First, NIIF provide fund directly to greenfield projects only. Second, NIIF currently manages 3 funds each with its distinctive investment mandate. Third, the government will invest 49% and the rest of the corpus is to be raised from third party investors. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? 1 and 3 only, 2 and 3 only, 3 only, 1, 2 and 3. So send me the answer in the comment section, and that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.